Welcome to the Back Nine Six Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 126 of the Back Nine Six Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. The seasonal depression came for us a little early this year.
God. I was not prepared for it. I was looking outside. I'm like, I did not, like the run up to January, you can kind of mentally prepare yourself for it. I was not mentally prepared for what happened to us on Monday.
No, that was like, I had to go out to the truck in the morning to, head to the gym. I haven't been able to park in the garage lately. We've been moving a lot of stuff around, so a lot of shit's out there. My mirrors, I got the automatic ones that can go in and out. They're just frozen shut. I forgot to heat the car up. I sat there for 10 minutes to let it warm up. Kids are excited. I mean, they love seeing it. And that part's always fun to see it through their eyes. But it was the first reminder of golf season is truly gone.
Yeah, it's done. Well, it's done.
We got
for
a little
sure.
bit left. Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's figuratively done.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Tomorrow's supposed to be 55. It's supposed to be 67 by the weekend.
I know.
Yeah, so I follow some weather guys and stuff on Facebook, and the cold that a bunch of people had, including Florida, northern part of Florida, it was unprecedented for this time of year. It was definitely, I think we broke our snowfall record for that date. I think it was 2000. No, it was 1952 or 48. They had an inch and a half. We had 2 inches of snow. So it was definitely unprecedented. It's something that just doesn't happen, right? So realistically, we've got another month and a half that we shouldn't have snow. Would you say? Shouldn't. Keyword shouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just not prepared for seeing the white stuff that soon.
No, I finally had to bust out the sweatpants. It was the full thing, all of it went down. I had to get out the snow boots for the kids. They wanted to go outside and play. I know,
we did too, yeah. And then it sits by your back door because I hate it. I was not ready for that in November. So.
No, just water everywhere. The jackets are all wet. You got to dry stuff off. Then they want hot chocolate, It's the whole production.
Yeah. Give us Christmas before we enter that stage of the off season. I'd like to say. I think we're officially in the off season. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, technically posting season ends on the 30th, right? November 30th is the last day. So maybe, but yeah, it's definitely major shades of the off season.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last year. I'm already in the off season workout, kind of mode. So I had some tournaments later in October. So, you don't want to get in there and start heavy lifting, things like that are going to make you sore. So I kind of stopped. I lift lighter during the season, right? It's more just to keep flexibility and things like that. In the winter, it's heavy lifting. I know I'm going to be sore in the morning kind of thing. I've already started that. So to me, the off season's officially started. So.
It's bulking season for you already.
Yeah.
Dude, the Halloween candy and stuff's done a number on me. So
Yeah. I guess we haven't. I guess our last episode was right before Halloween.
Yeah.
We finally get a decent Halloween night.
I know.
I think we've been rainy, been cold. It's either been rainy or cold. It was on a Friday, which was a disaster. We went very deep on Halloween night. I have not felt that way in a really long time. How I felt on Saturday.
Oh no.
It was bad. It was. A lot of the brown water, a lot of, few too many beers. And, you wake up on Saturday realizing you got to do leaves. So, yeah, tough scene.
That's brutal. Yeah. I did the thing, you take the tumbler around the neighborhood with you, whatever. But honestly, our middle child's so wild that it just was a hazard for me to have. I just spilling it everywhere. I couldn't put it anywhere good. It was just kind of a mess because he's just running from house to house. But, yeah, it was definitely a good Halloween.
Yeah, so we started this thing where I wanted to be known for something. You always have the full-size candy bar house. That was kind of already taken in our neighborhood. You have the guy that passes out Jello shots. That was kind of already taken.
Yeah.
I become the bourbon house. You're more of a regular bourbon drinker than I am. I'll have it every once in a while. Over the probably last 10 years when bourbon's become super popular.
Yeah.
I've like accumulated like a massive stockpile of bourbon. So I was like, a couple years ago, I'm like, I'm going to be the bourbon house. So I hand out bourbons to anybody that wants them. And I've got so much of like just the oddball, like, things that I've like, that just sits down there unless I give it out. So we did that again. It's a big hit. We have dads coming back. Like, we know where the bourbon house is. Like, we kind of try to put it in the middle, finish our drinks, put you in the middle, and then we can get another drink at your house. So it's kind of cool to hear that. I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of my stockpile. It could be a very expensive undertaking.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. What's the quantity look like for that? How much are you giving out?
So this year, we're giving out like, maybe a finger and a half.
Yeah.
I think this year being a Friday, we went through 2 bottles. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say there you go. Yeah.
Last year I think it was like maybe a bottle and a half, maybe not even maybe a bottle and a quarter. Like, it wasn't a full 2 bottles. This year we ran out. Like, the last 20 minutes I had none left. I teetered with going down and getting something else, but I'm like, I don't want to open something and then it just sit down there for like the next 6 months or 4 months, whenever I decide to finally drink it. So
are you matching the guests like drink for drink on these?
No. No, but it's funny, like, I don't have one until the first person gets it, right? Like, it just kind of sits there, and I'm like, okay, first person comes by, hey, we got bourbon. All right, I'll take one. It's like, all right, now I can have one because I'm going to pop a bottle open. I don't ever want to be the first one, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, guest honor. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. And send us some fan mail down in the show description. Turkey Open last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what do we got? 4 spots left, right?
4 spots left. So if you're listening to this right now and you want to play, this is your chance.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you with the text messages that I've sent out today, you're not going to be able to wait for the weather. If you're like, I'm not going to sign up until I see some kind of weather forecast. I'm telling you right now, in the next couple of days, this thing's going to be full, and then we'll get into setting up the pari-mutuels and all that fun stuff. Yeah,
I was going to say, we got to get this info over to the pros anyway, so we're probably closing this thing up by Wednesday, Thursday. Yep. So definitely the last chance. Go to back96pack.com/turkey open, sign up for that. It felt, really starting to feel real. I ordered the last of the tea gift today. Set up the pari-mutuel betting, like you said, so we're just waiting to finalize teams. That'll be good to go. Last year, we had a $1,500 pot in pari-mutuel bets.
Yeah. I remember because, so just so people know that are playing or whatever, or thinking about playing, we allow Venmo for the pari-mutuels, right? We get it. Like, people don't bring, I would prefer you bring the cash the day of. I really would. Or before, if I see you or something like that, you can bring it before or whatever. But, we have people, and we don't want to dampen the bets that are going to be made. So we accept Venmo. And I remember, I think I told you, I was like, I've got like $700, right? And I had to stop that morning because I had gotten so many bets on Thursday night that I'm like, I have to stop and get like another $500 so we can actually pay people out with cash. And then it turned out like half the people that won bets were like, can you just Venmo me? I'm like, so I know this year, like, I'm going to bring almost enough to cover the cash if everybody wants paid out. But, people have things to do. They're leaving, if they win a bet, they're not hanging around. some people do hang around, but, so we do pay it out either way. I'll have the cash if you want to get it paid out that way, or we'll Venmo the winnings as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I when I went in there to make it this morning, I just saw that and I was like, "Holy shit!" I forgot that we And shout out to Kyle Hodges, who went heavy on the trinkles to win, one of the few.
Yeah,
he won like half the pot. It was like $700 on his winning bets on the trinkles.
He pretty much won almost as much as they did. I don't think they bet on themselves, correct?
No, they did not.
Yeah, okay. So he almost won I think he won more money, or almost as more money as they did. per person, right? Like I think they won like $550 or $600 per $1,200 or something like that, and he won $700 by placing a bet on him. So
good.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So that brings up a good discussion, right? Like I've learned this now over the last couple of years. I used to never sprinkle the field. You got to sprinkle the field. You got to sprinkle the infield a little bit. You do. You just got to, because you don't know that $2 bet that's going to hit, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's what Ken did last year. Shout out to Ken. He $2 bet on the Trinkles. I think it paid like $250. So like he didn't hit for the Kyle amount, but yeah, he's still good win. But especially in a smaller field, I mean, I don't want to give away all the secrets, so everybody's betting on everyone. But when you get small fields, anything can kind of happen. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, especially. I mean, I'll be honest. When we did this was our first year doing it last year. I would have guessed maybe $800, right? Like if you told me like how many bets do you think are going to get played? I was like $700-800, right? You figure, people are going to put fives across on themselves. Maybe they sprinkle another $6 to $8 somewhere else. People went crazy last year, so awesome. I love it, dude. No, don't. I'm not shaming. I'm not bet shaming, but I love it. So
the best is when we get a text like the next morning, like, "Sorry guys, got a little off the rails last night," and we go check, and they had put in a bunch of bets.
Well, it was so funny. I was sitting there like watching the late game on Thanksgiving, and it was like, dude, I'm just like see Venmos coming in. I'm like, what fuck is going on? Like at one point, I literally stepped away from my phone for like 10 minutes, and I came back and like I had like 9 Venmos, and I'm like, and the next thing I know, it went from like $300 in my Venmo to like $750, and it just kept going. You get that like late night Thanksgiving drunk going, and you're like, I want to place a couple more bets. So kind of what happened. So I'm fully expecting that to happen again this year.
So good. Yeah, that's a new Thanksgiving tradition for sure. The late night turkey open bets. Oh man. All right. Well, some more of our golf. I kind of want to get in the weeds in this because I would not describe myself as a gearhead, but I love the process of getting fit, right? Of getting new clubs. I know you just went through a new iron fitting. Have they arrived yet?
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
I'm guessing that probably. I'm hoping before the Turkey Open. I'm being told that Titleist is turning around orders in 10 days. Tomorrow will be 7. But yeah, so I'm hoping, even if it comes in next week at like 14 days, I should have them before the Turkey Open. But yeah, so I went a little different this time around. I don't know if it was my what.
I was gonna say, hold on, before you get into that, but like, what can you just quickly? What clubs did you have? Like, what was your setup before?
So I had AP2s.
Okay. I
actually went 3 iron to pitching wedge, which I did not do that this time, obviously. So I went 3 iron pitching wedge last time. I haven't had the 3 iron in the bag in like probably 4 or 5 years. It's been a while. I think 5 years ago, I listened to a podcast with somebody, and they were like a PGA Tour pro, and they're like, if you're not he's like, heck, even the professionals don't even carry 3 irons anymore. It's kind of it's hybrids and driving irons and things like that. So, last time I was 3 through pitching wedge, took the 3 out. I went and I had to get fitted for a new 3-wood this year. The head just completely. There's like 8 cracks in it now. So it went from 1 crack to like 8 cracks. So I got fitted for a 3-wood as well on this trip.
Nice. Okay. So now from the AP2s into you got a combo set now, right?
Yeah. So I went T100s, the Titleist T100s up to 6 iron. So pitching wedge to 6 iron. The 4 and 5 iron, I went with the 150s.
Nice.
As I told you, I actually went in there and I was teetering with the idea of maybe doing a 4 and 5 iron in like the U510. Just going way too far. It was, the 6 iron was going like 195, and then like the 5 iron was going like 220. It was like, we can't have, that's too big of a gap. And then the 4 iron was going like almost as far as the 2 iron. My 2 iron I had in my bag, I'm like, I can't. Jesus. That's just too big of a gap. So, But so I went in. I knew I wanted to do a combo set. I did know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I like I said, I went in and thought I was going to do the U's, but I hit the 150s, just spin rate, gap coverage between, with me having a 2-iron. It really, now the 4-iron is going about 225, which brings it a lot closer to that 235, 240. I'm hitting that 2-iron. But yeah, I like the combo set idea. And in my head, that's what I wanted to do when I went in.
Yeah, God, it makes me think back to in high school, I had the 735s, and those were kind of like, when you got down to like 8, 9, and wedge, they were much more just like a straight like muscle back.
Yep.
And then 7 and above was not a cavity, but it had a little more forgiveness to them. And that's probably the last one I had, like what you would think of as a mixed kind of bag or whatever. But man, there's nothing more I love than that idea, though. Like I don't have one now, but just the idea of it gets me excited.
Well, I think that I'm kind of the opposite of you, right? Like I'm not a big, like I'm more worried about when I'm hitting things. I never used to worry about spin, but getting older, like I hit something with less spin because it's only going to take distance off, right? Like,
sure.
So, I've got to start worrying about that, right? So there's other things I worry about now that when I got fitted for the AP2s, I'm 27 years old. And I'm like, not really worried about hitting the ball shorter and stuff like that. It was a lot different experience this time around for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, what did you try anything else, or were you pretty set on?
No, I was pretty set on knowing what I wanted. I knew I wanted the T100s, at least through the 6-iron. It was more going in and figuring out the shaft, because for the last 2 sets of irons I've had really light shafts. I was my old 695s. I had 100-gram shaft in. This past time I went up to the AP2s, I got 110-gram shafts in it. I went up to 130 this time around.
I don't even know what that means. That
shout
is
out
wild.
130 grams, yeah. So shout out to Kyle Nixon, who I played in the Tri-State with. He's like, you got to try the heavier shafts, and I hit his. I was like, wow, I actually kind of like I used to never like the feel of a heavier shaft, but this time around, I was like, I hit his. I'm like, that's got like a really good feel. As long as I'm not, it's keeping the spin down. I can keep club head speed up and things like that. I'm like, sure. I want this. And I had the best numbers with the heavier shaft. I actually tried a same shaft that I had in it right now, like same exact shaft, which is the I can't remember, but same shaft, same weight. I was just hitting it too spinny. Just hitting it kind of too high too. It was kind of weird. But I did like the feeling of that 130-gram shaft. It kind of felt like a little lower shaft heavy. Like it just, contact felt better. So we went with the 130-gram shaft, which is the X. So it's just a basic, X, I think they're called X100s is the series of shafts. It's pretty, I think it's what comes in like Titleist irons if you like just bottom off the rack, right? So maybe not the same gram, but same shaft.
I'm trying to look up what I have in mind.
True Temper is, I think, who makes it, is the X100.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to see if I can figure out what the weight is on. Yeah, the X100 is like 124 to 130. It looks like.
Yep.
I'm trying to see what I've got the S300, but they're the XP model. I'm trying to see what that weight is. Okay, 117. Okay,
so they're not like super light. They're a little heavier than the ones I have in the AP2s.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the X100, 130 grams, yeah. Okay, well, I'm a little surprised that mine are closer than I thought, to be honest with you, in terms of, yeah. So better dispersion, better flight, right? Like,
yeah, lower spin.
Yeah.
Which that, I kind of started thinking that I needed something a little different because, you've seen me play golf. Like, I was just spinning the ball way too much. Now, some of that is my attack angle, right? Like, I get it. I'm a little more upright now. I've that's kind of changed over the last 4 or 5 years. But the way I was spinning the ball previous to these clubs was too much, right? And I was losing distance. There's no doubt in my mind I was losing distance because of it. And that's really cool.
100%.
I think that's cool with getting on any simulator, right? Like, club head speed, ball speed, things like that matter to a certain extent, but a lot of the shorter shots you hit are just spin. Like, if you hit a very spinny shot, like, your ball speed, club head speed can be all the same and go 10 yards shorter, 8 yards shorter.
Absolutely.
So, which is interesting, right? Like, I kind of knew that, but it never crossed my mind that that's probably what was, I started hitting irons this year like 2-3 yards shorter, and I'm like, that's probably what it was, right? Like, my swing has changed a lot over the last 7 years since I bought irons. So I'm looking forward to seeing what, getting out on the actual course. It's one thing to hit in the range and stuff like that, but I figure with the numbers I was putting up with these irons, it'll. And by the way, the T100s are not strong. I think they're about a degree stronger than the AP2s I have in each club, which is not much, but I think I'm going to end up hitting these about 10 or 15 yards further.
Yeah. I mean, my clubs are much older, so like I got a pretty significant jump. It was almost 2 clubs probably for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll probably see a little bit less, but I mean, just everything is like, it doesn't matter. Just everything's hotter now, and the ball just goes.
And again,
more forgiving,
going back to that, right? Like, we're amateur golfers. Like, our swings change year to year. And probably everybody's does, right? But like, over a 5-year period, you're probably needing different clubs, different shafts, things like that. We're getting older. We're not getting younger, right? Probably in 5-6 years, I'm probably going to go back and be like, fuck, I need to like take me back down to like 115 gram shafts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, and the other thing I did, which I'm not going to lie, we'll see how it goes. I got very generic grips in it, only because we're going to see how it works in the winter, hitting into a simulator and things like that. But I went mid-sized grips.
Oh, yeah, you told me you were thinking about this. Yeah.
Yes, I did go mid-sized grips, which I've never had before. I'm telling you, the video with Bryson and John Daly just was like, he gives a great explanation. I don't know if you've ever seen that video.
No.
But John Daly gives a great explanation. He's like, there's very few people that should be using regular size grips. Most men are probably going to need mid-size. And he kind of talked about, a couple different things. And I'm like, I'm sold. And I knew at that moment, I saw it over the summer. I'm like, when I get clubs this year, I'm going mid-size. But I didn't put any expensive grips on it because, like, if it doesn't feel good and I don't like it and I'm not hitting it very well, I can strip them and put regular size grips back on. So
yeah. Oh man, back when I initially got my last set of irons a long time ago, I went with the mid-size too. Because I had, you hear stuff, I don't even know if it's true, but it'd be like, oh, you're less likely to turn it over and blah, 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 all this stuff. I don't know if that matters. I end up hating them. So, but we talked about this too on the putting green, like you've got a much bigger hand than me.
Yeah, you're like a medium glove, right?
Yeah.
So I think anything less than a medium, you're probably okay with regular size grips, or like less than a medium large, you're probably
sure.
I think medium large, I'm in that window of like, could be good, could be bad. Maybe they're slightly too big, but they might be perfect. Like, if you have a large glove, there's no doubt in my mind you should absolutely be in a mid-size grip.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I forgot you had changed that. So now you go. So you got 3-wood. You go 3-wood to 2-iron or 2-iron.
2-iron. Yeah, 3-wood to 2-iron. I had the smoke shaft in my old 3-wood. I'll still have that, but I went with a little bit heavier shaft. So I've got 60 in mine now. I went up to 70 this time around. Again, it was all spin, right? Like I just was hitting less spin, a little heavier shaft, coming off a little less spinny. And I was just, I hit it and I'm like, I really wanted to go back in the smoke shaft, but I was like, kind of hard with these readings that I'm like, I'm hitting 3-wood with a range ball, 265. So it's kind of hard. And like, with like 3,800, RPM and spin, right. Which is pretty low.
Yeah.
And again, I kind of put these clubs together assuming that like I'm getting older, that I just need less spin, right? And that's kind of what I really wanted to go for, really minimal spin as much as I possibly could. And that's kind of that was my thinking, because 5 years from now, if I still have these clubs or whatever, I'm going to be 40 years old. Like things start moving quickly when you get to the big 4-0. So
yeah, no, when I got fit for the 7-wood, Sean put me in the same thing. He put me in a 70-gram shaft, which I wasn't expecting, but same thing as you. Like we looked at the numbers, I had a much lighter, kind of more kick, kind of friendly shaft. I could launch it, but I could launch it, or I could also like just spin the crap out of it, and I'd lose like 20 yards. Yeah. So we went with a heavier, more stable shaft that I could reproduce the same shot more often. So
yeah, and I can't remember the name of the shaft I got, but essentially the kick, the weight is more towards the head. That felt obviously different, right? But I felt really good, like in a good way. You know what I mean? Felt different than what I had, but it in a really good way. So
yeah. So what are you doing with your wedges?
That's next. I think probably some point this winter I'm going to get. So I've officially decided that I've got a 50. I'm going to go to a 50. I'm going to go 50, 54, 58.
Oh, okay. So you're getting off the 60.
Yeah. What's funny is I think at 58, you can still hit a flop shot, right? It's like, I can hit a flop shot with a 56. I really needed to. Yeah. I feel like a 58 is going to get used more in full swings. I don't full swing, or not even full swing. Like I don't even hit like 3/4 shots that much with a 60. It's a lot of loft, right? And I just don't like how the ball comes. I don't like the window the ball comes out in. I have hit a 58. The window's a little lower. It just feels a little better. It feels like something I can take 3/4 swings with. Like right now, I just a 3/4 swing with a 60 just doesn't feel great. Definitely don't ever hit full swing 60s ever. Usually, you start talking like 90, 95 yards, I'm choking down a little bit on a 56, right? So, yeah, so I that's going to be so I need to get a 54 and a 58, but that's around the corner. Probably wait till this winter. I'm not so much worried about, I don't want to buy new wedges and just rip them into a screen and then.
Exactly.
Like it can wait till March, until, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, wedges, like the Titleist says that it's like 80 rounds or something like that. Like, dude, that's insane. But especially at like $165 a pop. Right. But yeah, I don't want to buy wedges and just rip them into a screen the whole winter. So I'll stick with the ones now for this winter, and then I'll get a 54 and a 58 at some point in the spring, I'd imagine.
Nice. Welcome to the 58 life.
It feels good. I hit one even at our fitting. I was just like, I just want to feel it and see the window it's kind of coming out in. And I liked it a lot better than a 60.
Yeah. I think it gives you similar versatility to the 56, but you can, like you said, you can still hit a flop shot,
Yeah. Look, like you start talking 60, you might as well have a 64-degree wedge, right? Like,
that's the play. I'm about to just take out some of the stuff at the top of the bag and just go deep on a bunch of wedges, dude. Who
was it? I just saw something today, or it was yesterday. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's on the DP World Tour, and the guy has 6 wedges in his bag.
Dude, I think it's the
He only had like 4 irons, and then it was like wedges, 4 irons, and then like the rest were like hybrids and woods. I'm like, this is wild. But but he's like one of the longer hitters. So what he's thinking is like, how much use is an 8-iron going to get, right? How much use is a 9-iron going to get? I'd rather have, 2 more wedges than carry those clubs. So I get it. Especially if you're hitting it, you're averaging. This guy was like, it was something crazy. Like he was averaging like 345 or 3. It was something stupid. It's like, yeah, he probably doesn't have a lot of mid irons in the greens.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Oh, last question. Did you have any loft lie angle adjustment stuff?
No. the guy that fitted me, Sean, he talked about maybe going a little flatter. I didn't want to, only because, again, like my swing is liable to change in, 8 months, right? So I kept him. No changes in that at all.
Oh, you're just a flusher. I mean, you don't need any of that,
Yeah. What can I say?
All right. Well, hopefully those get in. I'm excited to see them. Just like I said, I'm not like a super nerdy gearhead, but I just like equipment.
You like it more than I do. I've tried to become. I'll be honest. I've tried to become it because it does matter. Like as much as I don't think it matters, it does matter. It really, really does matter. What shafts you're hitting? It's funny. Is like I know guys like that are like, what shaft is this? Like, dude, I don't know. Like here, look, like hand it to him. Like here, take a look. Like I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's the part of golf that just speaks to my logical, scientific side of my brain.
No, it's like numbers game, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess look, the weather. We're disappointed with how it's been the last 2 days, but like you said, warming up. Shout out to Joe who texted us and was like, "Hey, you guys want to get out on Sunday? It's gonna be in the 60s." And I think we were both kind of like, "Hell yeah!"
Sure, yeah. Oh, you want to twist my arm a little more?
I have not touched the club, I don't think, since the member guest. So, a little pre-Turkey Open round felt like a good opportunity to knock some more rust off, and excited to get out there Sunday morning with him and Aaron. Yeah,
it'll be a good time. I think it's going to be a little chillier than I think we were thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe a frost delay, honestly.
We're getting to that point? I didn't think it looked like that.
Oh, yeah. It's a low of 27 overnight. So...
Oh, no.
Yeah, or a low of 31 or so. It's the high's only supposed to be like 55 now. The one day moved to Saturday, just in case you're wondering.
I know. I text Joe about that. I was like, man, that Saturday forecast is starting to look a little better. Oh damn! Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, at least okay. So the good news is the hot, maybe the bad news, but the high is overnight actually.
Oh, okay. Is it okay?
So. Yeah, it looks like we'll be okay from a frost delay perspective, but it will definitely not be as warm as we're hoping. But yeah, rain chance looks like it's moved overnight Saturday into Sunday. So okay, we're still trending. We're still okay. But yeah, we'll see what that real feel ends up being like.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have my clubs by then. I don't think.
Thursdays are the big shipment day, so watch out. You never know. Could be Thursday.
We can only hope. Yeah,
we can only hope. What do you have any? I texted you guys today, thinking about games to play. Or you feeling anything in particular?
Just something to have a little money on the line. And it's going to be so bad because none of us are playing a ton of golf.
No, I mean, yeah,
you know what I mean. But that actually makes money games more fun. You're like, winning money, making bogeys and shit.
Right.
Stuff that doesn't usually happen in games like that with us, but. I don't have anything particular. Just get a little blood flow. You know what I mean?
I kind of like the idea of doing something team related, just because it's when you're not playing a lot, it's you don't want to go out there and have to grind your own ball the entire day. It's kind of nice to be able to lean on a teammate every once in a while. Joe's idea of Wolf is kind of exciting. I haven't played Wolf in so long.
Yeah, that's a game I have not played in a really, really long time.
Yeah, maybe close to a decade, honestly. Thought that was a good idea. We could always do, classic, 666. So you're mixing up partners. You play with everybody. And
that's always fun because you don't want, if someone's playing bad, you don't get stuck with them for all 18 holes, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's.
I guess that's how you look at it, but.
But are you saying you're the one that's going to be playing bad? So I
don't know. I'm just saying that's, look, I like to just get a different partner just to, you got to switch up the vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, maybe ride some coattails. I don't know.
Don't worry. Whoever plays with me in a 666 always plays their worst golf with me. So
that's a key. All right, I think that's enough golf talk for now. Let's transition over to football. Before you get into your,
it's the worst sport in the world. I'll tell you that right now. It's the worst sport in the world.
I'll let you vent in a minute. Before we do that, I'll give you some kudos because you're beating my ass in the draft we did preseason. You're almost up on me 20 points right now. Yeah, it's bad. Very, very bad.
You were heavy on the Bengals early, though. I mean, that probably didn't help your cause at all.
No, definitely didn't help my cause. Dude. I mean, the Commanders, Jaden Daniels is just RIP. The Cardinals stink. Kyler Murray's basically being soft bench. You heard this term, soft benching?
It's like so stupid.
It's like quiet quitting.
There's no like.
Yeah, it's like quiet quitting. Him and Brock Purdy are getting soft benched right now. That's tough. And then you're like,
look, if anybody deserves it, it's Brock Purdy. Biggest sham of a quarterback. I mean, he robbed the 49ers. Just absolutely robbed them.
Good for him. All those years driving his, Camry or whatever he had around, he can cash in now. Yeah, you just have an absolute squad, dude. Like, the Texans are probably your worst team.
Yeah.
And this is the difference, right? Like, they had no business winning that football game on Sunday, and you're getting that kind of win. That's what's happening to me. That's the Ravens getting healthy, so they're going to start piecing it together for you.
I mean, let's be honest. Like early on, it was like the Ravens were holding me back. You know what I mean? But,
exactly. I just have a lot of dead weight and just I don't know. We'll see. The Bills are pissing me off. Obviously, the Bengals pissing me off. Like, there's just a lot of the Packers are really. Oh, this is a good transition. The Packers are pissing me off. They got to be pissing you off a little bit.
Oh, dude. We went through some things last night. You saw it. I was texting you. Like, we really went through some things last night.
You literally texted me and said, "I'm taking notes."
Yeah, but I understand your frustration. Obviously I'm frustrated. I can't. So if you're frustrated, you can only imagine how I feel.
Yeah.
So
it's like, last night kind of like the injuries are starting to pile up now. That's tough.
Yeah, and I'll tell you. So I follow a lot of people that kind of go through film and things like that. The wide receivers are one thing, right? Like, yes, is it ideal that you're down to one start? I mean, Dobbs went out last night. Like, you're down to one guy that was a starter and he wasn't even a starter at the beginning of the year because he was out. But they were down to one guy that was a projected starter. Everybody else was, and then they're like, then you wonder, like, well, no wonder they're having illegal formations. You got Bo Melton out there, who they moved to DB this year. They moved to DB. He's out there taking meaningful snaps as a wide receiver, and he got called twice for illegal formation because he's played like 16 offensive snaps all year.
Yeah,
and most of them were last night. But the biggest one, so on that 4th and 1 run. And I'm probably in the minority here as far as a Packers fan. Don't hate the call. Like, this is how I feel about you need 1 yard. Like, if you can't get 1 yard running the ball, like, you don't deserve to win a game, right? Like, right. It's pretty much that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But like the biggest injury it's gonna keep rearing its head, like, is the Tucker Kraft injury.
I know.
Everybody knows him. Like, oh, he catches touchdowns, dude. Not even. I mean, the run blocking is. I mean, he is one of the best tight end blocking tight ends in the NFL.
Yeah.
And on that run last night, that got absolutely just blown up. Is not even the word that you could. I mean, it was done the moment that Josh Jacobs had that ball in his hand. Done. Well, guess who got blown up? Luke Musgrove.
Yeah.
I mean, just blown up. He got absolutely tossed around like a rag doll. I mean, Jason Phillips was the one that they acquired him at the trade deadline. Just absolutely annihilated him off the line. Now, come to find out, they knew they were going to run the ball, but I mean, look, you're not going to – how many times are you going to pass? Even when you're trying to run quick offense, how many times are you going to throw the ball on 4th and 1? And honestly, if they threw the ball and didn't get it, I'd probably be even more mad than just like, dude, just run the ball. Just get the first down and move on, right? So, yeah, that Tucker Kraft injury is going to be – that's the one that, like, on top he's my favorite player, but that's the one that you're just going to continue to see, like, wow, yeah. No wonder that, like, they're going to have rough patches where they're not going to be able to run the ball, and it's going to be mostly that.
Yeah, I mean, he's the George Kittle of that team, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's, 100%. Yeah, he sets the tone. Like, very physical. Like it's a big loss on top of obviously the production, through the passing game. That's probably the one area. Like Luke Musgrove he's pretty usable in the passing game, but blocking is not. That's kind of the one thing when he even got drafted that he wasn't like the greatest run blocker, So, but yeah, that last night I texted you. I said our two favorite teams got the worst two coaches from the Sean McVay coaching tree, and look, that's hard to argue. I mean, think about all the coaches that are still doing pretty good, and our two are in the thick of things right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Man, we can do a little Bengals stuff. Like, I think since we last talked, they already had the Jets loss. Now they had the Bears loss happen.
Which the Bears one's not as. I mean, the defense played bad, but like that's not as like, oh my God, really? Like we really just lost to this team. That was the Jets one for sure.
It was more of the position you got yourself into in both those games to lose them, right? I mean, the Jets one was like it hurt more because it was the team that you lost to.
Yeah.
But in both of those games, you have a lead late that you should be able to close out, and you don't. I've been a huge Zach Taylor hater for a while. At this point, like, I can't hate on him for like the play calling because the offense has been absurd for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Now, there are a few decisions here and there that like are really dumb that I don't agree with, of course, but like they've moved and scored the football. Now, the front office we know is the problem. Obviously, like the stuff needs to change there. It's probably never going to change. But I'm just ready to get like, I need a leader of men. I'm ready for like, I need my Dan Campbell. I need a dude as a head coach. I think we've hit that point with this team.
Yeah, well, and so that was my one thing. Obviously, Zach was part of it, and Matt LaFleur was kind of the beginning of it, right? The hiring the super young, super analytical, offensive-minded guy. That was kind of the run. We had runs. It all started with Sean McVay, right? And then it all kind of, after that, kind of fell in. The only thing that I hated about some of the hires, they're not like that alpha male. They don't give off that Dan Campbell, alpha male kind of thing. And you kind of need that even in the NFL. Like NFL is different in college, right? College coaches are, rough on guys and you're not like that in the NFL, but there's gotta be some fear of like, dude, this guy could pinch me at any moment. And I just don't, I think with Matt LaFleur, it's kind of that way. I think with Zach Taylor, it's kind of the way. There's a couple, there's some guys that are younger that it just, you don't feel that way, right? Like these guys aren't scared of this guy, Yeah,
well, I think it's like, Dan Campbell's an offensive guy. He was a tight end, right? Like he called plays this past weekend. But his attitude and like the culture he builds translates to the defense too, right? Like the Lions don't have like the best defense, but they've got an aggressive defense and they got dudes that'll go hit somebody.
No, and Bengals, also too is like they've had some injuries in the last 2 years on defense, and like it's almost like they've gotten better on defense. Like it's just like next man up. Like that's their culture, man. It's like, oh, you were undrafted. You're for one of the guys playing DB for him, undrafted Division II, went to Ferris State or Wayne State right in Detroit. It's like, oh, here you go play, and it's like throw them in the heat, and it's like they're not the best defense, but like it's the culture of like, hey, you better be ready. Like it's any moment we're just going to throw you to the fire, right? So I agree with you on that.
I think that's just something that, I don't know that a coaching change is going to happen. Now there's rumors that, Burrow's ahead of schedule. They opened his practice window. They're trying to get him back in the fold. I'd much rather just see them put him on ice for a year and try again next year. But they're just going to fight tooth and nail. It's what Zach Taylor's way is. I think they said now at this point, like could be the Sunday before Thanksgiving, he's back on the field. I truly think you lose this weekend, you pack it in. Like at 3-7, like you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna make the playoffs. I don't. Here's the thing. I think if Baltimore
had some losses in there and they weren't getting healthy. And maybe look at the Steelers have overperformed the last 8 weeks. Maybe you think you still have a shot at 9-7, but I think you get the 3-7. I think the way Baltimore's playing, I think you just got to pack it in and just move on to next year.
Yeah, they were, they got to this weird. This is what we talked about back when the Burrow injury happened. Was like, get to that Steelers game at 5-4.
Yep. Get
there, and then you kind of figure it out and see if you can get them back. Well, they blew those 2 leads against the Bears and the Jets, and now they're 3-6. So, it just, I get it from their perspective. They're 2-0 in division. There's still a chance. It's not a good one, but
no, I get that. Yeah,
that's I think probably what they're thinking. And I don't know. A serious injury like that, he's had enough. I think you gotta do the right thing for the player. If you're out of it and you can't let him make the decision. You gotta make the decision for him. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Real quick before we get off football, we can just a couple of things around the league because it's kind of a weird season, especially in the AFC right now. Things are really weird. You have the Patriots and the Colts tied, and the Broncos. Patriots, Colts, Broncos all at 8-2. That's insane. The Chiefs 5-4, kind of serious. They're the 7 seed. They're fighting for the 7 seed currently with the way things are standing. The Bills are scuffling a little bit, 6-3. Nobody wants to do anything in the North. What do you make of the AFC?
And the Bills losing to the Dolphins this weekend? What? Not just hold on. Wait a second.
Embarrassingly losing.
They didn't just lose. It wasn't last second field. They got dominated. Absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And I want to. I guess one. I think the Patriots. We saw some stuff out of Drake May last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't real, oh my God, but you could kind of see the foundation building. And then you throw in, who I think is an unbelievable coach, right? Vrabel is, he's Belichick 2.0, but he's more of a player's coach, right? Than Belichick was. So I think we might have misread that situation a little bit. I think I know that's kind of what I think if you out from the outside looking in, you had to think there's no way they're going to be that bad, right?
Yeah.
I think we were just so stuck on how bad they were last year. But I think just Vrabel was going to make them somewhat respectable. I think they've overachieved, obviously, but I think they were going to be somewhat respectable this year. And I think we overlooked them for sure. But the Colts, Danny Dimes out in Indianapolis, just becoming the quarterback that I think everybody thought he was going to be for the Giants. And, Jonathan Taylor, he's not old, but for running back age, he's not young either. Guy looks like he's a 21 years old again. And he's running for 240 yards. It's just, they're the ones that it just kind of blows my mind. And then, on the NFC side, you have the same names up there, you have Philadelphia and Green Bay, but the Seahawks, you know what I mean? They might very well be the best team in the NFC right now.
The West is insane. The Cardinals aren't doing anything, but the other 3 teams are, 7-2 for the Rams and Seahawks and 6-4 for the Niners without their quarterback.
Yep.
The Rams and Seahawks both look like wagons right now. I can't wait for the next time those two play.
Yeah. They're definitely at this moment by far the best 2 teams in the NFC. I think it's them 2, and those. Then a drop off, you get Philly and Lions, Packers, things like that. I just think they're ones that just don't have the gaping holes. Now they're both those teams don't have a ton of injuries, so that's something to kind of watch. As we go through the next 4 or 5 weeks because it's not if you have injuries, it's a when they hit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just call it what it is, and who it hits. That matters too. So
right, all right. If you had to take a team in the AFC right now, you're this is the team I'm backing, who would it be?
I think if you put experience and healthy together, and I think that's what I know why Vegas, even at 2 wins, had Baltimore the still favorites to win the NFC or AFC North. they're look, you get them in the playoffs. Like if they can just find a way to make the playoffs and relatively healthy, I'd be shocked if a Colts team or a young Patriots team ended up beating them in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It's like, man, like, if you're the Patriots, the Colts, the Broncos, you got to go through the gauntlet, the wild card of like the Bills, the Chiefs, maybe the Ravens if the Steelers win the North somehow. Like I would much rather put my money, just like you said. I'd rather have my money behind even I think the Chiefs still 5-4. I know they're third in that division, but like they can play defense. They've got probably the best quarterback still with better weapons this season. Like he's looked more like the previous versions of Mahomes. So yeah, I think for me it's Chiefs, and I'm with you. I'm kind of feeling the Ravens more and more.
Yep.
I wouldn't say I've been a Lamar hater per se, but like I've seen him the last couple of games. I've got to watch more of him than I normally would because the Bengals run by this past week, and then the time before that they played Thursday night. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for how accurate of a passer he is.
No,
I don't think he does.
I think that's like it's such an easy thing to be like, because he's kind of shifty, and it's like the easy thing to go and be like, oh, he's not that great of a passer. It's like, yeah, like you probably could make that argument about Mike Vick and like other mobile quarterback, RG3 when he had those 2 years where he was unbelievable. Like those guys, you probably could have made that argument against, but like him, if you genuinely sit back and watch some of the throws he makes, you're like, that's pretty. There's about 4 other guys that could make that throw, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. It's the lazy way. It's the lazy thing to do.
I think so too, and it's like, you look at the the difference between like him and Josh Allen, right? Like they feel similar because the skill sets are kind of similar, but honestly, like Josh Allen to me feels like it's just junkyard, like backyard playground football, and Lamar, he like it's a different version of that, but it's not. Like Josh Allen just kind of plays bully ball with it, and he can launch it.
Yeah,
but Lamar is much more of like a finesse and like I don't know how to describe it, but like I said, I don't think he gets enough credit for just how accurate he is. I've seen him throw some balls the last couple of weeks, and I'm just like, holy shit! And they've got a couple Flowers okay, but like, dude, he's not really throwing it to a strong cast. Neither is Allen, to be fair, but like
no, but. I know what you're saying. Like he doesn't really have a wide receiver one, right?
No, if he had somebody, a true one, a Jamar or a Jefferson or whatever, like Jesus, dude, they might score 60 points a game.
Yeah,
like yeah. Okay, NFC stuff. Just real quick, I didn't say my piece on the NFC. The Eagles are so gross, but this is what they do, and I just expect them to be there when it comes time to it. And I don't like. I think the team that I want to back, though, I think the Rams, man.
Look, Devontae looks like Devontae from like 5 years ago. Like
talk about an underrated guy. Stafford is just such a dude. I mean, a primo thrower of the football, and he's been doing it for feels like 20 years at this point. But yeah, you give them a little bit. The Rams have a defense again.
I know
he's got 2 stud receivers. They've got a running game. Like. I just, when it comes down to it, like, Seattle's so fun right now, but, like, do I trust Sam Darnold when the chips are down? Probably not. So, man, feels like to me, it feels like a Rams-Eagles collision course right now, personally.
Yeah, I hate the fact that I hate it, but I'll tell you what, I think I texted this to you the other day, or last night. I was like, there's 2 guys, and look, I love Dan Campbell. I don't like Nick Sirianni, but I love Dan Campbell. But they get in these modes where they just think they are the smartest guy in the entire stadium, right?
Yeah.
And not once has it like backfired on them. I thought last night Nick Sirianni was going to catch it, where I don't know why they went for it on 4th down. Like, to me, it's either you're trying a field goal or you're punting, right? Like. Now, if it was like 4th and 2, maybe, you have a little bit more of an argument to go for it, 4th and 3. But it was like 4th and 7 from their like own 39-yard line, or Green Bay's 39-yard line. I'm like, and he went for it, and I thought for sure, I'm like, this is going to backfire, and it didn't. I'm so sad it didn't, because like at some point, like that kind of decision, because he's going to keep making them, right? Like he's just like, they'll never expect it, right? And it hasn't backfired yet. Eventually, it's going to backfire.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm going to tell you right now, like the other thing with the Eagles that could end up, that's going to end up costing them. Everybody's onto it now. Like everybody sees the false starts. They're going to catch a ref crew that's going to be like, we're going to call it, like it might even be so slight, but they're going to get called on it every single time.
Yeah. I
think with the highlight of it last night, you know, the one that they didn't get called on, I think they only did it once. They only had one tush push last night. I think part of it was like they didn't want to do it again because they, you know, Nick Sirianni, after the Packers got away with a false start, kind of was in the ref's ear. And I'm like, you know, it's kind of one of those things like that he knows he gets away with it, right? Do you really want to draw attention to it? You know what I mean? And they didn't do one the rest of the night. Now, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for it, but yeah, I that's going to end up backfiring on them too. But I agree with you. I mean, it's like they're going to be there. Their defense is really good. You got to think their offense at some point is just – here's the thing. Their offense just scores the amount of points that they need. Like, it just kind of feels that way. Like, they don't ever really blow anybody out, but it's like, oh, we need 20 because we gave up 17. They score 20, right? Like, it's
– Yep.
So –
yeah, they're not quite the wagon that they were last year, but I think you're right. That's what they're a team, one of those teams that just does what they need to do to win football games. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I guess it's time. What's going on with Kentucky? You're very intently watching.
Well, it's pretty much over, but they were down 20 and cut it to 3 at one point.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, they were down 20, cut it to 3. It's about over now. They're down 6 with 50 seconds left.
Oh God, you need a cover here.
Yeah, they well, I when they went down 20, Louisville started the second half. They were 8 for 9 from 3, and I'm like, look, NBA is one thing. College basketball, like averages matter, right? Like,
yep.
At some point, and then the average kind of started coming back down, and they gave up a pretty decent sized run there. I think it was like 13-2 at one point run that they gave up because they started missing the shots that they were making every single one of to start the second half. But it's early. I'll tell you, I love big college basketball is cool because you get a lot of great games in the beginning of the season. I really hate November good games because I just think it's so early. You know, it's so freaking early to play a game like that. I just, you know, especially because, you know, you get down to March, right? And it's like, oh, well, they won this game in November. It's like, man, these teams are completely different than they were then, right? So I love college basketball for that, but I also hate it because it's like it's November 11th. Long season. I mean, we're talking till April, you know, late March, early April. But I think it's a good, like, you know, judgment of like where you're going to be and what, you know, you kind of find out what teams are at this time of year. So, or at least what you can expect, you know, early on in conference play and things like that. So,
right. All right. Well, with that, I believe it is time. We're going to head over to the patio. Frozen patios now. This is a tough time of year.
Yeah, hopefully in one of those igloo things.
Yeah, the TVs come down, the space heaters come out. Just it's patio transition season right now. I think do you want to go first? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. So my birthday is next week. Not a big birthday guy, but I mentioned that because we're officially on the downside of the 30s. We're hitting 36 here, closer to 40 than we are 30. And I just noticed some things in my life where I'm like becoming a little more dadly, just a little more, a little older, more doctor's appointments, But I found myself a lot more kind of like just naturally falling into sort of the dad tropes, like making my kid says he's hungry. I say, "Oh, hi, hungry. Nice to meet you. I'm Dad." When I sit down or when I get up, you got to groan, you got to grab a knee, a back flares up out of nowhere, things like that, right? So, just as I'm sitting here feeling my age, I'm just curious, like, what in life have you been feeling more like a dad or an old man about lately?
The thermostat for sure.
Oh, that's a cool. You're in a house
I'm the opposite.
too.
I'm not
really.
I want control over the thermostat, but like this time of year, like my wife is very opposite of me. She's like she wants it cool in the house.
Interesting.
And I want it. I want it. Like I don't want my feet. Dude, my feet are so bad. They could be near a fire, and I would find a way to. My feet would find a way to be cold.
Circulation problems, man.
Maybe, yeah. But I want control over the thermostat. Actually, in my office where I sit is the thermostat. So I've gained somewhat, but I want control over that. I never used to care. I'm like, I don't really care. Like, it could be 75 in here. It could be never really cared for it. But now, in my older age and kind of getting into that dad mode, like I want control of the thermostat.
Temperature sensitivity, I think, does for sure increase. Like when you get you
want what you want, right?
Yeah, but like I'm thinking about even like golf and stuff. Like 50 degrees when you're 10 years old is so much warmer than 50 degrees when you're 35.
Oh,
like
100%.
I you go out to the course or whatever. Like this weekend, I'm probably it's gonna be like a 3 or 4 layer venture here for for low 50s. Yeah, that's a good one. I hadn't even. It's kind of my house. Like I've got we obviously a lot of people have smart thermostats and all that. So like I just kind of control it from my phone anyway. But honestly, like Susie's usually she's like one to like she wants to have the windows open, which I appreciate. I do like having fresh air and all that. But like
if the temperature calls for it.
There are times, like, look, I'm not sweating when I'm laying in my bed at night, okay? Like, we're going to turn the AC on if we're at that point, or if, if you have to wear a jacket around the house because of that, like, we're just going to put the heat on or, crank it up another degree or so. But yeah, that was a good answer.
Yeah, well, and I think that too, right? Like, I think, the cold, and I think of this, I played in that 10-man scramble again this year, last weekend, and it was like 55. In past, I would have had just pants and whatever on. Like, dude, I had long johns on. Like, I had a couple layers on underneath the golf shirt. Like, I layered it on. I was cold. Like, I was really cold. So, but yeah, I think that's the main one. I've started to get into like kids need chores. I never used to be that way. I'm like, I'll just do the dishes or I'll just do this. Now it's like majorly into chores.
We made a little chore chart for our oldest actually too. So yeah we're right there too.
That's a very dad thing too, by the way.
Yeah. I just thought of two more while we're sitting here. One, I've been leaving my coffee mug in the microwave after reheating it a lot more. That's one I go heat it and then I forget it's there and I come back later and to do something else and it's still sitting there. And the other one, so we just had had the new patio installed and all that, and so like I was never like grass guy or whatever, like obsessive about any of that stuff. Man, I am out there with a leaf blower blowing that thing off. We're doing the edging, I'm making sure all the landscaping's watered to a level I never did before. Like,
yeah,
it's coming fast, dude.
Yeah, well, I can tell you. So that's another one too. Recently, I was kind of one of those guys that I'm like, as long as I don't have the worst yard in the neighborhood,
yeah,
like I'm good,
Same.
right? Like,
Same.
But this year, weird weather, dude, crabgrass it just took over our yard, right? Like it was
same. It was a rough year for that.
So bad, so bad. I started in August. I killed it. Like I didn't kill the lawn. I went out and got stuff to kill the crabgrass with. Well, it left bare spots everywhere. I mean, so I'm like, you know what? This is just a lot to handle on my own. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm going to hire somebody. I'm like, I have to. Like, we got to get this right. So, like, they aerated. Like, we got my yard aerated, overseeded. Like, and it's only going to get worse going in the spring. Like, I want this thing to be. I want it to be immaculate. Like, I'm at the point now. I'm like, I'm tired of having like the middle yard. Like, I want the one that someone drives by. Like, fuck, dude, that's like, look, he's got stripes in his yard. That's what I want. So.
Yeah, I'm still not there, but like I will say so when we first bought this house back in 2019, the people before us paid to have the lawn serviced or whatever. We still cut it and everything, but they had people come treat it and stuff. And we kept up with it because it was like, all right, we have a nice yard, we'll just keep it going. But then that company we were using, they got bought and the other company sucked. And then they ended up killing a bunch of our plants. It was a whole thing. So we hired somebody else, and then that company stunk too. And so like our yard is like as bad as it's been since we've been here, and it's driving me nuts. So I'm with you that I got to find the right match in terms of the landscape.
Yeah, well, I just got to the point where I'm spending a lot of time
and money, right? Like, I mean, you're spending.
Yeah. Well,
it's not cheap to buy that stuff.
No, you go to Lowe's and like to kill my crabgrass in my yard this year, like it's $140 in chemicals. Like,
I know.
You know, even if it connects, like, you know, get that thing that connects to the hose, and you know, you're spraying it with the water, and you know, it's $140. I'm like, if I'm gonna pay $140, I'd rather just have someone do it, right? Like,
yeah, they're
getting bulk chemicals at a cheaper price. Like, yeah, I'm paying labor, but it ends up being about the same cost. You know, maybe a little more expensive, but like at that point, it's like, you know, okay, let's just say it's $150 more expensive. That to me, if the lawn's actually good, like that's worth it to me.
Yeah, 100%.
And I used to never be like that. Like I said, I'm like, as long as it's not the worst yard in the neighborhood, I'm good. Like, you know, very middle-ish. But now I'm like, I want the lawn to look good. I really do.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Ugh.
All right.
Well, we're going to have an episode before Thanksgiving because we got our break. Our next episode will be the breakdown of the Turkey Open.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm putting public pressure upon our friends to do that podcast with us.
Yeah, got it.
So,
yeah,
Nick and Gunth, you need to show up, buddies.
Yeah, at least one of them.
Yeah,
you know,
we're going remote. You don't have to drive anywhere. Do it from your house. It's fine.
Gunth is my partner this year. Back to him this year. We got to make it happen.
Yeah,
we got to have them on. I think it was really good last year when we had them. But we had Nick on last year.
Yeah,
Gunth was he sat out because he was out of town for Thanksgiving. But yeah, we got to have at least one of them on. I hope both of them come on. But I think, yeah, public shaming is definitely needed in this situation.
Yeah.
Now, I know we talked about this a little bit last year, but there are benefits to this time of year, and I figured out what I like the most about this time of year.
Okay.
With you got Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. Outside of like, I like this kind of food, or what's one thing you can get away with this time of year that if you were doing it any other time, like you would be judged or maybe sat down or like, hey, like, what are you doing? And I'm going to tell you, let me tell you mine.
Okay.
There is zero judgment, for amounts of alcohol drank and the amount of work you do at work this time of year.
Yeah.
Like those two things, like any other time, like you might get like someone you work with, like you gotta fucking pick up the slack a little bit, right? This time of year, everybody's just in this mindset of like punting it into next year that like no one will ever say anything to you at work. And no one will ever say anything about the amount of alcohol you're drinking.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
the work
my favorite thing. Like there's like zero judgment on either of those things.
Yeah. The work thing, I don't know, when it happened, but like, I don't remember it being like almost as forgiving as it's gotten, like it used to be, you kind of had to like grind through the holidays. Like, it was like, closing out the quarter or whatever, to turn to the new year. Like not everybody can take all the time off, whatever. Now it just feels like everybody's like kind of like once Thanksgiving week hits, like everybody's just like, see you next year.
And so the official name of that, and I shout out to my boy Andy. Andy runs part of the golf outing we plan every year. When I worked with him like 9 years ago, that's when it kind of started. It was like weird. It was like, I agree with you. It was like, it wasn't anything. And then it's like, maybe it's like we got deeper into corporate life and like,
maybe
you get off like the ground floor and you kind of start moving up a little bit or different positions. And
sure,
maybe you see a little more when you get a little bit differently. You're not like a super fresh out of college person. Like you start to notice those things. But like we call it Holly Jolly time. Like as soon as Thanksgiving hits, it's Holly Jolly time. And people are like, when is Holly Jolly time? It's literally like the Wednesday. No, it's the Friday. It starts the Friday before, like 6 days before Thanksgiving. You're like 6 days because no one works that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Nobody.
No.
It's already started. That Monday is the first day of Holly Jolly time. It starts on that Monday because you're like, dude, even if you work Wednesday, you're like, I got 3 days, kick it into a long weekend, right?
Yeah.
But we call it Holly Jolly time.
God, Holly Jolly times. That's a fun name. I'm not gonna lie. That's fun.
Like, it got to the point where we were working in a corporate environment. I'll leave the name out, but rather large corporation in Cincinnati, and it was like, dude, you got to that Monday right before Thanksgiving. People were firing in PTOs, like, and even if they were at work, you're like, there's 40-minute coffee breaks happening. Like,
oh yeah,
it was a stark difference between that Friday before that, and then like you get to that Monday before Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, it's people are useless. Like it's just, he's my well. I mean, like there was a guy pretty high up in this corporation that literally he had so much PTO built up and carried over. He literally took off Black Friday through Christmas.
Oh man.
Like, how do you even get away with that? Like, who approved that?
I don't know. Depending on where you're at, like that, a lot of people would just like kind of shut it down the last 2 weeks of the year. You do like the Christmas through.
Yeah, that's normal, but it's extended now.
Oh yeah. But I would say kind of low key, like that, the week between Christmas and New Year's is like kind of a good time to work.
It isn't the worst thing because you're not going to deal with people's shit, right? Like,
no, there's nobody around. You're just very quiet. No meetings usually. You're just can kind of grind through some stuff you want to get through. It's it's Holly Jolly time still. You're just kind of hanging out.
Like my job requires licensing. I'm actually way ahead of the game this year, but usually that like I get to Thanksgiving and I start doing it, and sometimes I'm unfortunately getting into that Christmas time where I'm like. But it's an easy time to like. I'm not really getting bothered with anything. Like I can actually focus on it, right? So that's what I do. But yeah, I agree. It's not the worst week in the world to work because you're not getting hit with meetings. Like you're just not getting the hassle that you normally get. And I always found like when I worked at a corporation, like I liked working those because you go in and like. One, you're getting like a front row parking spot, right? Like there's no one there. Like I remember we're parking out so far on normal days, and you come in like that Monday, like Christmas on a Thursday. You come in that Monday, dude. You're like front row. You get there 5 minutes before you're supposed to. You're like front row. You know, that's kind of nice too.
Yeah, I think to actually answer your question, to me, I think it's kind of like appearance related, right? Like you kind of let the hair get a little shaggy, the beard, you don't shave as often, like you wear more comfy clothes, so people don't really care. I think everyone's just all about like, feeling cozy. So just like, you can kind of not let yourself go, but I think you let yourself slide a little bit,
Yeah, I'll tell you, I love wearing a good vest. I mean,
oh, dude, vesting season. We're in peak vesting season right now.
Season. I wore one today. Shout out to Peter Millar.
Yeah,
their quilted vest is like I need another one. Like I definitely need another one. But yeah, just throwing a vest on. Like today, I go into my office and I wasn't like super dressed up or anything, but like there's something about throwing a vest on with like a halfway decent pair of pants, and like no one's even questioning that. Like that's dressed up. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I do like that. That's a good point. I never even because no one, in the summer it's like Like, man, you could have at least a golf shirt on, right?
Yeah.
No one's even tossing anything towards you at this time of year.
No. Like I'm letting my hair grow a little bit right now. Like you just whatever, you know.
Yeah, I usually try to keep, my beard pretty like not like super close, but like I don't like when it gets real long in the winter. I kind of just like I like to let it get a little longer. You know what I mean?
Eat a little bit, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps the face warm. You know,
Let it fertilize a little bit.
Grow it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the drinking thing, like I don't think anybody like, no one's saying anything.
Holidays are like vacation that way, you know.
No, yeah, it's like, oh, you should have a drink at 9:30. Like you do that during the summer, people are like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But like you do it like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, like you're drinking at 10:30 in the morning. No one's batting an eye at it. Like no one's batting an eye at that.
There's so many, holiday get-togethers and parties and all kinds of stuff in the run up to Christmas season and New Year's. Like, yeah, it's just pretty much you're just. It's like the Holly Jolly Time bender, really, is what it is.
Yeah. Now this brings up a good. I'm kind of adding on to this. So I'm sitting in the sauna tonight. I figured these people were probably in like their late 20s. I actually heard one of the guy. I think he said he was like 28. And they're like, "Oh, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?" Like, "Oh, are we going to go out the night before Thanksgiving?" And like the one girl was like, "Are we too old for that?" What is the age in which you can? Where you're just like, yeah, too old. Like, you shouldn't be doing that anymore. Kids, no kids, doesn't matter. Like, just an age where it's like, it's just not the scene for you anymore.
That's the thing is, like, I feel like it kind of is more life situational, right?
You think so?
I mean, kind of, but also...
Because I think, here's my take on it. I think the day before Thanksgiving, after 30, like, if you got a babysitter and like at our age, right? Like if someone was like, "Hey, like I got a reservation here, like you guys want to join us?" It would be like, "Hey, we're gonna have dinner. Maybe we squeeze in like a 9:00 drink, and then like we're going to bed. Like we're going home, relaxing and stuff like that." I think once you get past, to me, once you have kids, that's probably more the acceptable. Like, hey, let's go have a nice dinner, maybe a drink, and then head home, kind of thing.
Yeah. I kind of think, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, there are just days that are sort of amateur hour for drinking, right?
That's one of them. 100%.
And that's absolutely one of them. New Year's, that's another one of them. Honestly, like, I kind of hate this, but St. Patrick's Day is getting there. Yeah. I love St. Patrick's Day, but it's getting there.
It's getting there. Yeah, I think what's different about Wednesday before Thanksgiving and St. Patty's Day, I think it depends on where you go on St. Patty's Day.
True.
Like, if you're going to an Irish pub, like, yeah, you're going to run into some shit. Like, it just is what it is. Because the people that don't normally drink, they're like, "Oh, it's St. Patty's Day. We have to drink at this place." Where, like, I'm like, fuck it. Like, as long as I'm having, like, a Guinness or some type of beer, I'll drink anywhere on St. Patty's. I don't really, doesn't have to be an Irish pub, right? But I guess my point to that is, like, I think the last time I went out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, my oldest daughter was like 2 years old. And I went out, my shoes got puked on, and I have not gone out since.
Now, for context, you were about 25, 26?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, so like for me, I think that I probably last time I went out on that night was pre-kids, and it was probably about 25, 26. So yeah, I think maybe
I think
might be the number, right?
I think 25, yeah, because, well, here's what I think the good thing about the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is, specifically under that age, right? You're probably in college. You probably have friends that are away to college.
Yeah.
You're back in town, like you're seeing people you haven't seen in 3 or 4 months or whatever. I think that's more what it's for, right? Mm-hmm. And once you get past 25, like you probably don't have any college friends, right? Like none of your friends are in college.
Yeah.
Most of your friends are, probably living in the town you're in, right? Like you're not, you may have like that stray friend that lives out of town or whatever, but yeah, I think you're close enough to the college age, but once you get over 25, like you start running into like 21-year-olds look really young. You know what I mean? And you're like, and it's amateur hour. It really is. Like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I think, is the worst day. If you're not, I'm not saying like you're a drinker, but like if you like to go out to have a drink at a bar, it's the worst day to go. Like, you just stay away.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think 25 feels like the end of like your college era. I know you graduated years before that, but you still kind of, maybe you keep your affiliations with your college. You go to homecoming. You've got maybe some younger friends that are still there or whatever. But once you kind of hit past 25, it's more like, okay, you're like, you've got a 2 or 3 year career going. Maybe you're married or getting married. Possible kid. Like, that's like a real transition point. I think 25 is like a transition point for a lot of people.
But I agree with you. Like, you get to 45 and like you have older kids, like maybe high schoolers and stuff. Like, yeah, you're probably going out, but like it's an early night, right? Like, it's a nice dinner, maybe an after dinner drink, and head home. It's not a stay out till 2:00 in the morning, show up to grandma's house the next day for Thanksgiving, just absolutely obliterated still. You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing too, is you go from like, okay, you're going to a relative's house and you don't have to do anything. You have no responsibilities. You just eat, to maybe you're hosting. Maybe you have kids that are going to get up early. You got to do 2 Thanksgivings or whatever, There's that transition too is a big difference on,
I'll tell you, like, my Wednesday before Thanksgiving now is like, wife cooks some stuff like sides that she likes that, from home or whatever.
Yeah.
I just sit there and drink and watch her cook. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I've done like the last 6-7 years is like, all right, you cook, I'll stand here and talk to you, have some drinks, But like my problem is like my hangovers now, like I'm not hungry when I wake up. So like the last thing I want to do is really tie one on and then not want to eat the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I think the thing with that too, right? Like you're like, don't really want to fuck up this food tomorrow.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's hangovers. These days are day ruiners, multi-day affairs for me.
Oh, Halloween was well into Sunday before I started feeling better.
Yeah,
well into Sunday. I mean, 2 days later.
It's not good.
So, I thought it was an interesting conversation. I kind of was like eavesdropping into it, but I'm like, yeah, 28's too. Like, as soon as he said he was 28, I'm like, yeah, you're dude. That no, like, and they had kids. Like, they were talking about their kids. I'm like, no, dude, you stay away from that. Like, that's bad news.
No, it's a young man's game.
Yeah,
it's not for us.
Yeah.
Not for us. Well, breaking news into the show, we had another sign up for the Turkey Open while we were recording, so we were down to 3 spots. So again, people.
We did? I bet it was. I'm going to check. I bet it was one of the texts I sent out.
It probably was, based on who it is. 3 spots left in the Turkey Open. Back96back.com/Turkey Open. Get yourself signed up. Like I said, we're probably going to close that down Wednesday or Thursday, and it'll fill anyway. But we got to get this rolling. Get ready for November 28th here.
Yeah, we've got scoreboards to get ready and things like that. Like, we need a little build up time to that to get that stuff ready.
Yeah.
Again, I think I said this earlier. I follow some weather guys on Facebook. Now, I don't know about rain, but like temp wise, looking relatively promising on some of the models. So, part of me was kind of glad we had this cold weather as early as we did. I'm like,
yeah,
maybe this is like getting it out of its system. And like, cause usually we've been warm up until that point and it's like, boom, first cold day, you know?
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
but
right.
that was one of the texts I sent today. Yeah.
I figured. Cool. All right. Well, as always, thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and view the show. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. And when we see you next time, it will be Turkey Open Preview with Nick and Gunn.
My favorite show. I'll call it what it is.
It's kind of like the Back96Pack like holiday special, honestly.
It is. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
We need our analytics guy though. Nick needs to be there.
I know. I need him running the numbers on. He's going straight to the gin and getting all the the details of who I need to bet on. Yeah, my Trinkle bias last year hurt me, but I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, this was to be the year that everybody bets him, and then they just like shit.
See, here's the key: he's won it with a different partner every time. Okay, he's running it back with his dad. I don't think he can win. You can't. I don't think he can do it.
All I can say is this is the plate. We cannot let this happen again. This is the last time his name goes on this trophy.
That's everybody's mission in the whole field. We cannot have
don't
another
let
trickle
them
on
win.
the
Like you see them looking for a ball, don't help them. Don't help them. You let them find their own ball.
And in fact, take out your phone and start a stopwatch to make sure they don't go
3
over
minutes,
the time limit.
And stroke them if you have to. I don't care.
Yeah, stroke their asses. That's what we need to do.
The best part about Run Your Own Tournament, we are the rules officials. So if someone sees them a second over 3 minutes, we're stroking them.
Yeah. The true see something, say something situation with the Trinkles. All right, everybody. Until next time, cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.